Hey, what is going on, you guys? Hope you're all doing amazingly well. In this video, we're going to be covering another jazz hop, chill hop style piano part, learning about the 2-5-1 chord progression that's so typical to jazz and R&B music. And in this example, you're going to learn how to play a basic 2-5-1, learn what it is, but also how to play more complex versions of that chord progression using more notes, more intervals, and even using some interesting techniques you might not have tried before on the piano, such as using your thumb to flatten down on more than one note. So let's get right into it. The chord progression is in the key of E flat, so you're going to be going 2-5-1, which is referring to the second, fifth, and first chord in the chord sequence of, in this case, E flat, the key of E flat. So if we look at our E flat major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 2-5-1 is the F, B flat, E flat. If you don't know what the number system is, it's definitely something that I recommend you check out. You can see here that I've written out the chords to scale, so the chords of the E flat major scale as 7th chords specifically, and below you can see my kind of shoddy attempt at Roman numerals and then the numbers that associate with it. So the number system is quite literally a shorthand, and the 2-5-1 explains to us one of the most typical chord progressions in jazz. So as we get into this example, let's just start with really basic triads with the left hand. So I would recommend, in terms of the fingering, you can try left hand on the F, pinky, try the middle finger A flat, thumb on C. So now we have our F minor triad. And we're going to find a way to play the 2-5-1 without jumping around so much as some people might do. For instance, going... And instead we're going to play it with a more sort of voice leading attempt. So F minor, add on your index finger to the B flat. And then what we're going to do is actually bring the thumb to the D. So now you're playing a B flat dominant 7 chord. We have the B flat, the root note right in the middle. The dominant 7 or minor 7 is right next to it now. The F is representing the perfect 5th of the chord. And the D is the major third of this B flat dominant 7 chord. Dominant 7 chords have a major third. So we've really easily reached that chord, and we're going to continue that philosophy when we go to the 1 chord, the E flat major 7 chord, by keeping our index finger and thumb planted, but then taking our middle and pinky to reach down to these notes. And that forms a root position E flat major 7 chord. F minor, index and thumb, keep them planted. One more time. Index and thumb come in. Keep them planted. Move pinky and middle. Now that's a really nice exercise for playing 2-5-1s. In fact, it's such a common chord progression and there's so many variations you can explore. I would recommend people using that same sort of voice leading method in different keys, so you get used to playing on the piano in different positions. But what we're going to do in this video is add some more complexity to that using some pretty neat tricks. So complexity really to me just means adding intervals or altering intervals to make the chords more interesting, maybe more dissonant, maybe more modal, depends on what you're looking for. What we're going to do here is we're going to take our F minor triad and we're going to create an F minor 6 chord, which adds on the major 6, which is D, to the chord. And the neat thing is we're going to use our thumb. So our thumb's actually going to smush down on the C and the D notes, while of course the pinky in the middle are still right there. And now you have this F minor 6 chord. So immediately you've made the chord more interesting. What I like about this is that if I then place down my index finger, which right now should be hovering over that B flat, we've sort of changed the tonic of the chord to become a dominant 7 chord, the B flat dominant 7. But quite literally you have a B flat, the dominant 7, the perfect 5th is below, and then you still have your major third, but now by keeping smushed down on the C as well, you're adding on the 9. So this is really equivalent to a B flat dominant 9 chord. And you can see how close it is to an F minor 6. So F minor 6, B flat 9, and then we're going to keep basically everything planted, index and thumb as usual, and just move down to our E flat major chord. But you can see here, We are playing the D as well, which is the major 7, but we've added on the C, which is the major 6th. So now we have an E flat major 7 add 6, or you could refer to it as E flat major 13, even though we don't have the 9 in there. But a lot of times when you add on the 6 to a chord, it's sort of representing a 13 chord. So E flat major 13. And you can see in the chord chart, it's saying there's no 9th in there. So that's one way you could call the chord. But it's pretty neat. It's very static. Your hand barely moves. And everything is very clustered together, which creates this really warm, mid-rangey sound, which is really noticeable in a lot of chill hop, jazz hop, just general jazz piano playing. Now, something I like to do is once I get used to that chord progression, I like to incorporate the right hand to sort of add on extra extension. So a lot of times in my style of piano playing, I do use the left hand for the bulk of the mid-range of the chord. A lot of the intervals are represented with the left hand, but I do that so I can keep the right hand fairly simple and also melodic if I need it to be. In this case, I like to make a power chord basically with my thumb and pinky in the right hand on the G and the D. And this is doing something really interesting because the G is the 9 of F. So we've taken an F minor 6, turned it into an F minor 9 with that 9th there, and the D is just doubling up on the 6th. So this is an F minor 6, 9. Some people might even call it an F minor 13, especially if we had the E flat in there as well, which is a bit dissonant up top, but you could always add that interval down below with the thumb on the right hand, index, pinky. And then you get an F minor 13. But I'm just keeping it simple. A nice power chord in the right hand is very easy to play. And you have a really beautiful spread out voicing. It's clustered in the middle, but it has this nice extension up top, just like that. And we're going to keep it really simple. We're just going to play the B flat 9 chord. So we're not even going to move the right hand. It's going to stay there. So F minor, B flat 7. And then you can see here on a B flat chord, this G basically becomes the 6th. So we're now kind of playing a B flat 13, dominant 13. And the D is doubling up on the major 3rd of the B flat 7 chord. So it becomes kind of like a B flat dominant 13 because of this. They're very alike. And then we're going to go to the E flat, same way as we played it in the left hand that we learned, but we're going to keep these two notes together. And the final thing that I like to do is on the 1 chord add some kind of altered note to create a little bit more dissonance on the 1 chord. It's sort of an advanced concept, but it's actually easy to play in this example because if we're smushing down with the thumb on our left hand, we can also smush down with the thumb on our right hand. And there's an A natural. And that's kind of interesting for this key because we're in the key of E flat. There's no actual A natural note in the key A flat. In the key of A flat, the A natural is the raised 4th or the Lydian 4th. You could also call it the tritone. So this is adding on a raised 11. The 4 is the same as the 11. So this is an E flat major 7 chord with a raised 11. Yeah, and you can see here the C is also in there. So we have the 6th. So you could argue this is an E flat major 13 sharp 11 chord. Pretty complex, but if you follow this video from the very beginning, it's kind of easy to play. I mean, it's kind of fun. You can use your thumb to double down on notes. And you can experiment with this as well. I mean, keeping things really simple or practicing a lot with the left hand with those note clusters gives you the ability to play melodies in the right hand. So hopefully this video was useful to you. Feel free to hit the like button and subscribe if you're into music production topics, including piano playing, mixing, mastering, and guitar lessons. And if you haven't checked out the link in the description, there's a Gumroad store where we're going to be adding on a new product at the end of the month containing a bunch of really great lo-fi hip-hop, chill-hop samples, including MIDI clips of these kinds of piano riffs. So be sure to check that out. Everything's free at the store. You can download if you want to check out that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Have fun.